In this world, angels live among us. Many great invincible beings of immeasurable power, a bridge between us and the gods. These creatures are not as you might imagine them. While some are human-like in their appearance, most are alien. A sitting mountain, a giant boar, a hovering sphere. Each of the angels provides a powerful boon to the surrounding area and its inhabitants. They do not speak to us. They do not move. We built our world around them. They shaped our cultures. We rely on them. Until something dark came along. Now, one by one, the angels have been slain. The people of the lands around them slaughtered. A wave of death is spreading across our world. Only a few places remain as a final bastion of life. Only a few against an endless horde of oblivion. And within these few, a single band of unlikely heroes, bound by forces beyond their understanding. In this world, there is only a single word that describes their soul-bound connection.
When last we left off, Thrak, you had just discovered that the spell being cast in this area is sort of a major image spell, an illusion, but that it has been enhanced due to a connection that Gildan has with a fiend. You can sense that that fiend is in the next chamber to the south of you. For Gildan, and somewhat for Sia and Cirrus as well, there are these ghosts of turtles that are kind of swirling and amassing around Gildan.
Wait. I can see this spell. It's coming from this direction. And I follow the threads over to Gildan and I approach her.
You're sure it's a spell?
Yes, there is something connecting it.
The three of you who are not Thrak can make an investigation check if you'd like.
It would explain why I couldn't punch it.
Gildan, you fail. Cirrus, you fail. Sia, you also understand that this is an illusion. While you are still able to sort of make it out, the spell itself is sort of broken over you. The ghosts, while sort of obviously sort of like transparentish, translucent, become even more translucent or even more difficult to discern. Any other sort of sensory qualities that you're getting from the spell become faint to you. You're aware of this being an illusion as well.
My right hand flares up with that neon pink aura, and I say, if this was truly some sort of ghost or apparition, I would have been able to disperse it earlier, but I couldn't even contacted. That's outside of the realm I deal in. As Thrax says, this is magic.
And it can only be Annowre.
What exactly can I see coming from Jilden's brain? Does it look like the weave?
What it looks like, I'm just going to let you translate this yourself. But what it would look like is whatever the magic would look like between a warlock and their patron. It would be like that. Not exact, but close enough that whatever you perceive that to be. But there is a sort of a give and a take here. And there's an element to Jilden, or the effect that this creature has over Jilden, in which you get the sense that it has a little control, almost as if Jilden has given a piece of herself to it, or a contract has been signed, or it is puppeteering Jilden to a degree. It's not fully like controlling her, but there's an element to that where it has some power over her. So however that sort of manifests and appears to you is probably how it would look.
Could I, do you think I would know how to break something like this?
Make me an Arcana check.
A 15.
There's so many different ways that it could be done. But probably the most definitive and direct way would be to simply destroy the creature, the fiend.
Right.
You could, ask it nicely to drop this, that kind of thing to exit out of the pact. But there isn't really, like an umbilicus like you had in the Astral Sea that you could cut or anything like that. Alternatively, Jilden would have to could potentially entirely give herself over to the creature. Jilden is also being puppeteered by the frame rate gods this evening, which is predominantly
Please send help.
predominantly why we're slightly late in starting the session. We've had so many issues if you've been watching Tablestory over the last few nights with different shows and tech issues with the cameras for some reason. I don't know what's going on.
I know. I'm sorry, I'm trying to fix, but
it's Jilden's connection to herself. It's at 2 FPS.
Understood. And is there a way I could roll to try and fix the connection? That's a joke.
The video connection.
That was a joke. Right?
Yeah, go for it. Roll a d20. Let's see if it's going to work.
A D20.
Quick before she connects.
I've got an 18.
You failed.
Oh. Well.
It's awful nice that the tech gods gave us a physical manifestation of my soul and body bond. The amount of times I've almost died.
Quite right.
Everyone watching, all of the people that are listening to this on the varying podcast feeds that we have, check them out. Don't worry about it. Everyone just watching this tonight, close your eyes.
Welcome to
Close
the
your
live
eyes.
podcast.
She's completely vanished now. I don't know why. Yeah. All right. Well, Jilden will be appearing in audio form only tonight, just to promote all of our audio feeds exclusively. Spotify and Apple links
Excellent.
available in the chat room and under the descriptions if you're watching on VODs. Check them out.
You can hear all of this in character.
This one
it's
is gonna
Annowre, like just messing
So
with
much
us.
better.
Rate and review. Also,
What do you think
helps us out a
a
lot.
podcast is?
What does she mean?
Some
by
sort of spell.
podcast?
Do you think I can heal her frame rate?
No, I think
Put your hand-
you're
put
the
your hand in
problem
the dirt.
because you've been in every single show that has had video issues.
I might be the problem.
Isn't that because she is in every single show?
She isn't in Gatewalkers, and I don't think they had video issues, but maybe they did. I'm trying to remember if they.
So rich coming from Myre.
Yeah, that's true. Got too much time on his hands, worming his way into every show.
I just started saying now.
Oh, they had tech issues too.
Oh, they did.
Well, guess it wasn't me then.
Damn.
Yeah, but that's coming from Keeper though. Can that be trusted? I don't know.
Absolutely. Keeper's got a hyper brain. Keeper remembers everything with a photographic memory from the moment they were conceived. While Jildan flickers in and out of reality, what are Cirrus and Sia doing about these ghosts? Because you still think... Oh no, Cirrus, you still think they're ghosts. Sia doesn't.
I don't, and I explained to her that, well, it is nothing that I can deal with. It's not a ghost, it's no apparition, it's magic. It's
Yeah.
something other.
Cirrus, you can make another investigation check with advantage if you'd like.
Okay. $20.
Yeah, dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Yeah, I think for you as well, you are able to sort of discern the illusion for what it is, while you can still see it. You don't get the element that Thrak has, where he is able to see that it is another creature that's puppeteering this spell from another realm.
Okay. I'm just looking through some of my new spells here.
You have
if
new
I could-
spells?
Well,
Yeah, she leveled to 10.
Leveled up. I leveled up. No, they're not new as of today. I just mean they're new as of the last time we leveled up. I haven't used
I was
them.
like, did I
Like,
give you
wait a
guys a
minute.
level up?
No,
Just
new
her.
Some
from
sort
the
of like
last one.
weird, anxious fear of Orcish complaining again. I'm just a shy
Fine, you've leveled up.
Fine,
You're level
yeah.
10.
Get on-
Stop
you get 2 levels every
asking
week.
me.
Question. Would this individual, Annowre, count as Fae, undead, and or a creature originating from beyond the material plane? Celestials,
again.
elementals, Fae, fiends, and undead.
Yes. Do you need a yes or no, or
Fantastic
do you need to
news.
know which one?
No, I don't need to know which one, just that it works.
Oh. Okay.
I'm,
Can
no.
you just tell me everything about this boss before we fight it,
Here's
if possible?
the sheet. Yeah.
Can you show
I've
me
given
the
you
sheet?
access to the sheet.
What's its lowest stat?
Using all these tech issues against me because I'm so like distracted
Excuse
by
me.
all the tech
No,
issues
no.
going on that you're just worming in these little
We
questions.
gotta take whatever we can get here.
Mordrill.
I
What
was-
is Mordrill weak against again? What is his vulnerability? And I'm just there like, oh yeah, it's thunder. It's
Foil?
thunder. I mean,
I was connecting with Voriel, okay? I was connecting with the ether,
Uh-huh.
the religious god that is running over all of our lives.
Okay.
I'm a cleric. So, you know. Can I make holy water?
Right now,
Only if you drink enough.
with what? Yeah, you can.
Water.
You can.
Cool.
But I think it takes a little while to make a batch of holy water if that's what you're doing. Do you need holy water for this spell?
Yes.
How much?
It doesn't say how much.
Just some?
It just says holy water.
If water is commonly involved in practices with Voriel's, bullshit, whatever you end up doing, whether it's like rituals and things, then you can justify saying you have some holy water on you if you want as part of the material components, because you're very lucky in this campaign that I'm running it, because the material components are not things you have to like go around picking up and telling me that you picked up a little piece of fleece.
Yeah.
And then there are some that require you to have a monetary value that I'm waiving a lot of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you want to say that you sort of justifiably have some holy water, you can. But I think I'll just leave it up to you. I know that you can power game that if you want, but I'm leaving it up to you either way.
I don't want a power game, but I can see a world, because the mountain is in the middle of a lake, right? So I can see a world where that lake water is considered to be holy and is revered and or collected and or used in sort of like healing practices and that sort of thing. Purification and whatnot. So I think that might.
Okay, are you doing something? I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, yeah. No, sorry.
This is what we're doing, is it? We're having just a pic. I could have loaded
That's
up
a
a
great
picture of
idea.
Tilden if that's what you want.
That's all I can do. That's all I got. I'm sorry. You're trying everything.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, it's only
better than
probably
nothing.
the most important Jilden episode of the entire series, but I'm glad that we have a fucking JPEG of Jilden on the screen.
The close up.
Yeah.
The zoom. Oh my god.
Why
I've
are
had
you
a great
smiling
day.
right now, Jordan? This is serious.
I need the ability to draw on here and just draw a frowny face.
Okay. In that case, I turn to Thrak and I say, I may be able to. I can dispel evil and good. The things that are wrong.
Well,
I might be able to dispel.
unfortunately, I don't think this is what you can define as wrong. I believe this is an agreement or pact of some kind.
But-
And I'm not looking at the back of Jilden's head. As far as I'm aware, the only way to dispel something like this is to destroy the creature she is bonded with.
All right. So, where is she then?
I point my staff to the south. That chamber.
What is? Okay.
We could, however, parley with the creature if they agree to drop the pact. I could confirm that.
Have you ever made dealings with such creatures before?
I'm only listing our options.
No, I understand. It's just, as far as I know from my own experience and teachings, and also from the constant yapping from our total friend, this creature is not one to bargain with.
Our goal should be freeing Jilden at any cost.
Even if that cost is yourself.
We should also be aware that Jilden may be vulnerable to deception.
Perhaps control as well.
She may perhaps already be under control of this creature. There were things we saw that you were not privy to, Cirrus.
What did you see?
Oh, you know, the usual. Killings, death. Although from two perspectives it seemed like. It seemed as if, well, we saw our friends Jilden in the company of a creature. Perhaps one she might have thought was this Selnaeus being. And this being was violent. This being was merciless, killing whoever they saw fit. However, after some time, this creature disappeared. And in its place was Jilden, covered in blood. Now, this too might have just been a manifestation of this creature, what she wanted us to see. But it would not be the first time she's spoken about being controlled, and not wanting to be controlled.
No, it wouldn't. I suppose if we cannot beat Annowre, we have no chance at beating Mordrill. Perhaps we can think of this as a gauntlet.
This entire journey has been one long gauntlet, and yes, if we break ourselves on this anvil of Annowre, then we were never fit to fight Mordrill in the first place.
So, since we are fit to fight Mordrill, this should be easy.
Sure. Well then, lead the way, I suppose.
It might be easy, but we do need to keep an eye on Jilden, as I said. Illusions will not be our only issue with her.
Right.
They have a bond, an agreement, which gives some amount of power over her. Obviously, she's resisting, but I do not understand the full extent of their pact or bargain.
I suppose she is a creature of bonds, is she not? Bound to us three as well.
Yes, perhaps leaning on our connection as Quura could help counteract the bond she shares with Annowre.
Possibly.
I believe it.
But if I might make a suggestion as an observer of combat with very dangerous foes, perhaps we do not try to physically hold each other's hands this time.
Oh, thank God.
What do you mean?
Well, it seems as though when we are all in very close proximity, it creates,
Right.
an easy
I
target.
understand. Yes. All right.
Makes sense to me.
Right. I take out my staff. Is there a bit of dust on the floor I can start drawing a battle plan with?
Plenty. The whole
Okay.
place is dusty. Like no one's been here until you guys for a long time.
Perhaps we could take this time for a little bit of strategy.
All right.
I don't exactly...
You might be within earshot, so I'm going to assume this is all in hushed tones.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, carry on talking or whatever, but really what you're all gathered together. The three of you are
Yeah, we're
gathered together
whispering.
while Jildan is like mesmerized by these ghosts. There's also a little elemental thing nearby that she summoned. Little fiery elemental.
Oh, yes.
Right,
Aza.
yes. That Jordan summoned.
Essentially Azza.
Not
Azza the
Annowre.
Elemental. His name is Azza the Elemental. Here you go, look, he looks like this. And the character is Azza the Elemental. And he has the stats of an Aza.
Oh, that's great. I love it.
I love him.
All right. I stand corrected.
He's just standing around doing nothing because...
You know what I'm really excited for? Is when Myre's level 10 and he's able to speak to everything because he's a monk. And they have to have... Chilton's going to have to come up with conversation like, what is this guy going to say? Hello.
But the Azza,
Yeah.
he can't speak. He's just a bunch of rocks and fire.
Oh, okay. All right.
If he was an
I guess we're
Aza,
just,
that would be different. But
Then you
Right.
can speak.
Jildan
Right.
summoned
Exactly.
an Azza.
And Azza.
And now we
Got it.
canonically have a thing called Azza. That's his
His
name.
It's a homebrew.
Yeah. It's the only way Myre can continue playing in the campaign. He threatened to leave.
I love you so much, Brad.
Right, so I'll like draw a little circle that represents the room, and like, all right. So, what do you think? Who should go in first? Probably the quick one, yeah.
Well, I mean, I could be quicker. You have a certain way around time, do you not?
I do, in fact.
And I've always wondered if you could make me faster.
You want me to make you faster? You know, there is a price to pay with that. If I get injured, the spell may drop and you will feel very tired.
We should avoid doing anything that will leave us with long-term hindrances after this. Should we survive, we need to keep our strength.
No, it won't be a long-term consequence, but for a few seconds, you will feel very lethargic. It's as if time is sort of catching up with you. But
Oh, I see. I feel as if time has been doing a lot of catching up as of late. What's a few more seconds?
we can do that. I could cast it on you right before we go into the room.
I will leave it to you and your discretion to decide when is best to use it.
Right. Well, if we want to attack immediately, it only lasts for a minute.
I see. Secondly, I've been watching closely now. A few other spells you and, well, Jilden have. One where you make shards of black ice like daggers rain from the sky.
Me?
Yes. I know not what you call your spells, but if ever you're able to use such a thing, if you try, how best do I explain this? Essentially, I can push people in them. I can grab them. I can make them feel the brunt of such things faster. Doubly so, as long as they're not in it to begin with. It's something I've been thinking of for a while, but I might be able to pull it off. Regardless, it will take time and a lot of luck.
Yes, well, I do have a few spells that leave dangerous, obstacles in an area.
Right. Oh. Last but not least. It's not quite a get-out-of-jail-free card. But I am able to make this place very dark indeed. You've seen it before, but it's not something I can do very often. Say the word and I'll do it.
I am unsure what effect that would have on a creature such as this. It might give them an advantage.
True. The darkness I create is somewhat magical in nature. However, I have heard of creatures that can see without sight.
I believe that I can also contribute. I may have the ability to protect Jilden from some of the influence. Now, this is protecting Jilden against some of the influence of such a creature. I'm not sure whether it would work if the bond already exists. What do you think, Thrak?
What? With a spell?
Yes, it's a spell. It can push entities that are possessing out of someone, make it more difficult for someone to be controlled, frightened. But if they already have a bond,
it's possible it could work. I'm not sure. I know that if you had a spell that could bolster Jilden's mind in some way, that might also work, or at least help. I believe Jilden is trying to resist, perhaps enhancing her mind in some way could make it more difficult for this creature to confuse her.
Mm. All right.
I think it's worth a shot.
I also still have this, and I point to the bangle on my wrist. As a last resort.
As do I.
So I prefer not to use it as I did the last time I used it.
Honestly, between you and that grey dwarf, you and me both.
All right. I can also connect us. I can embolden our bond. Things like that.
Well, hopefully this emboldening bond of yours will also weaken the bond between her and this other creature.
Perhaps.
Regardless. And I looked at Jilden. What is Jilden doing right now in this moment?
At this moment, I am still surrounded by these ghosts. I am on my knees. I don't look to be in distress. More, I am watching the ghosts. I am pointing out details. I am recognizing them.
That can't be healthy. Even
Perhaps
for
it
someone who's
is.
not... perhaps.
It does us good to confront our shames, mistakes, decisions, past.
Since I understood this spell, Brad, would there be a way for me to try and unravel it?
And snap her out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, make me an Arcana check. This will be weave bullshit though.
Right. A 30.
Or do you have Dispel Magic? Dispel?
I do have Dispel Magic.
So Dispel Magic would work.
Okay.
Alternatively, she's not like mesmerized and hypnotized by this exactly. She's just in fact I don't think she is mesmerized and hypnotized by this. I think she's basically just triggered out. You know, she's just being faced with yeah, I mean I can't remember what Thrak knows exactly, so she's just sort of stunned. But the spell itself you could dispel with a Dispel Magic. A successful Dispel Magic spell if you wanted to. You could also just leave it, it's harmless. You can't actually do anything. It's just literally there to fuck with Jilden.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'll I guess I'll just leave it then.
So,
Yeah.
As I'm sort of like plucking gently at the weave, not really changing anything, but studying it, you know, like pulling my spectacles down, looking at it closer, squinting, doing all this stuff. Maybe I take out like a little tool of some kind and I'm measuring things, and I sort of just look at the others and say, well, I think perhaps it's best we just leave this spell as it is. But, as far as strategy is concerned, would you like me to cast a haste spell on you before we enter the room? Or did you want me to wait?
Perhaps wait until a more opportune time, I think. It'll give us more options, I think.
Very well.
I can strengthen our bond before we go in.
Right.
It will last only 10 minutes, but it will hopefully be useful.
Something tells me once we go in that room, 10 minutes will be plenty of time to decide our fates.
As you wish.
All right. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else that I can do before we go in.
Is there any...
A monster. A monster. Who is it? Who is it? I mean, it has to be Leah. There's no other person who it could, but it is. The demonic grin.
Has it stopped?
Yeah, it was PB.
Okay.
Turns out it was PB. PB is Annowre.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, a demonic entity puppeteering everyone from another room nearby. It's exactly what's happening.
Not the comparison I was going to make.
What were you going to say?
Nothing, Brad.
Okay.
Leave me alone.
All right. You have a plan.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yep. I guess the only thing that we can do is trust ourselves in each other now. And
Well.
kill this bitch.
And kill this bitch. Yes. Well,
Yeah. And kill this bitch.
Okay, kill this bitch. How would you like to kill this bitch?
I would just, honestly, what I would really like to do is just, like, I walk in there and she, you know, yapping, and then just a portal appears behind her and 55-year-old Thrak comes out and snaps her neck. If that's at all possible. And then he teaches me how to time travel.
That's
we
what
do
happens. Yep. What do you guys do next?
Time travel, I guess.
I call to my future self who has beat the campaign, and he's going to punch through the monk force to appear in front of me and walk us through the path to Annowre in such a way that she tries to attack us, but every single attack misses, and she somehow manages to kill herself, severing her own bond with Jilden.
Okay, well, you try to connect with your future self and you're already dead.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
It's just a corpse.
Just a rotted skeleton. Its head falls off.
Yeah.
I think
That
this
was the
plan
first
had some
hurdle.
flaws. Yes.
Okay. So, a vague plan is sort of scratched out into some dust on the ground. I guess the three of you that aren't stun locked in 2 FPS give me a perception check. Is it ear based?
Seer might rhyme with ear, but I'm giving none of it right now. Natural one.
27.
27.
I got a 15.
And a 15. From within the next chamber, the chamber that you suspect the demon to be in, you hear the sort of subtle murmur of several voices. You can't make out any words, but you can hear a couple of different people also speaking in hushed tones. And Seer, you can't. For whatever reason. You're just completely unaware of that.
I've got other things on my mind at this time, I think, than the rushing of sounds. I think actually what's happening is I told my friends to steel themselves against the words of this witch, and so I hear them, but I am not listening intentionally.
Okay.
What is that?
I don't know.
Ignore it.
Okay.
Anything you hear now, other than... Oh shit. Never mind, it's too late.
What?
If at any point in time we're split up, remember in the Wendigo Peaks, before we set out, don't tell me the answer, but what was it that I saw when I stepped into the room ready to go, and you three were? Well, I think that's enough. Hopefully. And I
got
turn
no
back.
fucking idea what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Neither
out
have
of
I.
character, I do not remember. It's okay. I would remember in character,
Myre,
probably.
once
based
again,
on-
mistaking us for someone whose memory is functioning.
Got no
Just
fucking clue what you're
Three
talking about.
traumatized people whose brain has been obliterated by SSRIs and short-term memory has never stored a piece of information ever, versus Myre, an SSD of a human being. Yeah, give us a clue.
It was a really good. It's a
It was
great
so
idea.
good.
I'll tell you
I
what.
was
You
trying to remember.
Pick something.
I'll tell you what. Here's what happens. Because we've got time. Way back before, and where were you? Outside before you went into the cave in this memory.
In the basement of Hard's Castle, or Hard's Tower.
Sorry.
We've got
Time is sometimes
We've got
delayed.
time for a flashback. All the time in the world. Okay, you're in
Dragons,
Hard's
yes.
basement. Okay, yeah.
Thrak and Cirrus were having a long discussion about wounds and battle scars.
Not the basement,
we were-
the bath.
The bath
Yeah.
basement, yes. The bath.
I thought it was your
yes.
bedroom. Oh, we were.
We
It was,
might have
it was
been.
one of those
I
rooms.
thought
All
we
of us
were-
played
was your
separate
bedroom.
campaigns.
Yes.
Imagine having a functioning memory.
Mm.
Unbelievable. All right.
We were
In,
showing
There was
Uh,
different
fan art
stores.
for this. I remember
There is
that.
fan art for this, yes.
There's fan art for this.
In the
you-
B room.
You're in the B room.
Yes. It could be a basement
Yeah.
or a bath or a bedroom. But
Close
it's a
your
B
eyes
room
and
for sure.
imagine either a basement, a bathroom, or a bedroom. Doesn't matter.
And I believe
Let's
we're stark naked.
and from there recreate the scene exactly. Action.
Oh, okay.
Ah, you want to see a scar? I'll show you a scar.
Yeah, all right.
And I show them a scar somewhere on my body.
Okay. Now, what was happening here? Seer walked in and walked out, right, or something like that. Isn't that what he did?
I walked in, tea in hand, backpack ready to go, and this lot are just ogling at each other, showing off
Okay.
scars.
Ogling
Yes.
is not the word I would
I
use.
think the only ogler in this was probably Jordan.
Well, Jildan
Yeah,
was in the
I'm-
corner, yes.
Yeah,
I'm
Jildan.
legally
the-
not allowed to ogle.
the camera quickly pans over to Jildan, whose jaw is on the ground, and eyes are doing that wolf thing that they used to do in all those
Yeah.
old cartoons, like a
Oh,
wooga,
wooga.
wooga.
Oh, wooga.
And then back to the rest of you. Okay, yeah. So Seer did that.
Right.
I
Okay.
put my arm down in front. 12 men went into the water. 25 men came out.
Okay.
Doll's eyes.
And
Doll's
then-
eyes like a shark's eyes.
Yeah. This is how Seer remembers this.
This is how it was in the original, okay?
The thing that I can't wait to get to is Seer has a point, and I just don't know what it was yet, and I can't wait to find out.
Just
mean,
remember when you guys
I
were
understood
naked.
it.
What was
We're
it?
Yeah. He's like, tell
It's
us when I
code
asked.
word
Yeah.
in case we
Something
come
Missouri
across
Oh,
Missouri
you
like
guys
fake
came up
versions
with
of
like a
us.
code word, and
It's
then
the-
right.
So we can't be tricked by the illusion. It's like,
Yeah.
what's my middle name or
and
was
the
that nightmare I
so
used to have?
the code word was
The
what,
code
what
word
you said
is-
during the bath.
Scars or the B room, I don't fucking know. Okay,
Scars
just
in the
case.
B
Scars.
room is the code.
Scars in the B
Scars in
room.
the B
Scars.
room.
If the episode title
Never
Scars in the
forget.
B room.
Scars
Don't
in
jinx
the
it.
B room.
Don't jinx it. Give it 5 more
Yeah, don't
seconds.
say anything. Don't
Yeah,
say anything.
I'm not doing
No,
Give
we
it
it.
5 more seconds.
Okay, I think it's working.
All right. Ain't no chance you've got time to do this combat now, so I'm going to stay in this memory for the next hour and a half.
No, we will listen. We're gonna blitz through this, okay?
Yeah,
They've got a
we're gonna
plan.
crush.
All right, can I get the
We've
sound
got
effect?
a plan. Which one? Oh yes.
Back to the Future. Okay. Jildan looks like she sort of snaps out of it a little bit. As you guys are crouched around a vague plan drawn into some dust on the stone floor. Jildan, you sort of look over. I don't know if you were connected to the call, but you do still have your elemental. He is called Azza the Elemental. He has the stats of an Azza, but his name is Azza the Elemental.
As
Plushies
it
will
should
be
be.
available on the merch store at the end of the month. And yeah, you sort of maybe just sort of like ground yourself out a moment, and you look over and see that they're huddled and hushed and speaking and prepping a plan here. And then there's like a little bit of bickering about a word, something to do with the B room, and then they all settle on the word scars.
Okay.
Yeah. If
You think you're confused?
Listen.
Try DMing this episode.
I walk up to Jordan and I take her by the shell and I look her in the eye and I say, goodbye. Where'd you go?
Huh? Where'd
She's
you
still
go?
there. Is she still there? What's happening to me?
Oh no. What? You
Okay, no, never
are
mind.
completely fine to us.
Okay, I grab her by the shell and I say, "Your pact with this creature, it may confuse you in there. But remember the code word. Scars." I'm whispering this very quietly. Scars in the B room.
Wait. No. Anything I know, she knows.
Oh, we need a new one now.
I don't think...
Damn it. Well...
I didn't make a deal with her, whatever she is. I made a deal with Anais, who's not the Anais I know, but she's in my head. Whatever I know, she knows. So anything you need to be secretive, don't tell me.
If you'll excuse me, but sometimes in Moon I would have to look over some documents, especially working with people who would come from outside, contracts and the like. You said you made a deal with Elneas and not Annowre, yes?
Yes.
Would that not render the contract null and void? You did not agree to the terms as Annowre gave them.
That's not how deals with these things work. As far as I understand, it doesn't matter. They thrive on trickery and lies. That is their whole bag of tricks. I didn't make a deal with Annowre. That doesn't matter because it was Annowre the whole time. It wasn't Elneas.
Can I do a roll to see if I know any information about fiends and their allegiances to deal making or anything of that sort of thing?
Yeah, make me I guess it would be either a history check or might be it, to be honest. Yeah, history check.
Okay. 24.
Damn, son. Pulling out the rolls tonight. This is because you should have been in combat at this point.
Yeah.
And you're blowing them all on these
I'm using
weird
the
little
I'm
history
using
checks
the
and
really
stuff.
good one.
So you want to know like the rules on like fiends and demons and things?
Yeah, and like, for example, you've used the example of like warlock patron a couple of times, and I know that that's not literally what this is, but just any sort of information on deals and contracts made with fiends, and if there is any sort of like rules that they follow, that they themselves are kind of locked into. They can't just like make everything up, right?
Kinda.
Yeah, okay.
So a fiend is a more generic term for demons and devils, but it also counts for some other creatures, witches and things like that, hags and stuff. There are rules to pacts. Once you sort of enter into a pact with either a demon or a devil, you're sort of locked in. There's very little you can do. It would be the same on the Fae side of things as well. So if you made a pact with a sprite, you know, it would be the same sort of rules. It isn't as clear cut, I don't think, as you might find in traditional D&D games or in like traditional media with these pacts and things. There really isn't anything that suggests it is that powerful. Fiends are more powerful than mortals. but not as powerful as an angel. And even pacts with angels don't really exist. So there really isn't much that suggests that Jildan should be as locked into this as she is. She shouldn't really be beholden to this pact at all.
Would there be like a history of people who have encountered these sorts of entities that go to angels for like purification or to break the pact? Is there like a history of people, for example, coming to Voriel in order to release themselves from these kinds of contracts?
I would imagine so, but make me a religion check just to see if you know any specific stuff about it.
7. No. Okay.
You get the sense that it does seem like it could possibly be a thing. There are places in the world that are known to be cleansing places due to the angel. For example, there was one that you were very near, the Riverlands, has an angel called Shanti there, of the angel of the god Sarasvati, and this is the river that flows upwards that I think I've mentioned. It flows upwards and creates a sort of these points of this river flow down to a central point and then flow directly upwards, and then it kind of just creates a permanent rain over an area. That's people would bathe in that in a cleansing way. So you would think that would work. And there are other angels in the world that have similar healing or cleansing properties like that. Voriel maybe not as much, but I mean, it certainly wouldn't be any different than somebody who, even in the real world is like born again, and is like, I used to do all this bad stuff and, I've come to, XYZ religion or maybe cultural practice to attempt to improve my life or shed a previous, negative energy, feeling, thought. So, I would say that you've probably met people that have been like that, but there isn't any sort of, quote unquote arcane or scientific knowledge that suggests it's actually severing a pact, a formal arcane pact with a being like a fiend.
Okay.
It's just a spiritual thing.
Okay. I look at Jildan. In all of my reading, agreements like you have with Annowre, I'm not sure why it's so strong. She shouldn't have so much power over you.
Perhaps that was due to the time we spent together. Years, 40, 50, perhaps. Perhaps that the power she offered me, I used more and more. Perhaps I am also afraid that if I sever any link to her, I lose anything I have.
Oh, Jildan. You are the most...
I'm useful. I've taught myself skills. I thought Elnares had left me. He left me alone. He abandoned me, and with him, any power I had to learn again. But I don't know how much of what I know now is even... did I teach myself, or was it all Annowre all along? I have no way of knowing.
I suppose what it matters is that you've already been taught, no?
You do have to learn how to control magic.
Me.
It's not something any of you who...
Yes, of course. I had to learn. I had to learn everything.
Not,
It was a...
for some people it does come more naturally than others, as I understand it, though I spent many years studying. However, something tells me a creature like Annowre wouldn't care much for teaching useful abilities. I believe this is more your own natural talents that have brought you your power.
It took me less than a year to understand how to manipulate the elements the way I do now. To change myself. The elves said they'd never seen anything like it. I don't think that is a natural talent. But perhaps it is something I would be willing to sacrifice to have out of my mind forever, regardless. In fact, there's no perhaps about it, it is. I want her gone.
She'll be gone. But I want you to know that you have more power than you think. She does not own you. I don't think you can be owned. I know you too well. Don't forget it. You're powerful too.
Please, can we kill that bitch?
Let's go kill that bitch.
Now you're speaking my language.
Yes. Let's go and kill that bitch. And I start moving towards the door, hoping that following our plan, the monk goes first.
I'm also going to cast Emboldening Bond on everyone as we approach the door.
Yep, you cast Intimidating Shout. Unfortunately, Jordan is running.
What?
The Leroy Jenkins meme. It's just the original meme from the internet. It's all good.
Leroy Jenkins.
You weren't around.
Okay.
You had like
At
real
least she
friends.
has checked in.
I'm
You had real
4
friends in
years
real life.
old.
Yeah. What things are you casting before you step into this chamber? You can straight up MMO prep this.
Yeah,
Since you spent the time planning it. So just tell me what you're doing. Emboldening Bond.
Yeah. Let me just see here.
Power word fortitude.
Yeah.
I
When you
just
pink
need to double
paw.
check. I need to put my
Fielding,
glasses
pink
on.
paw.
Is that a disease? What?
You're a WoW player. How do you not know what that is? It's the druid buff.
I don't, sorry. Intellect buff, I'm a mage.
Oh, right.
Okay, I am also going to cast when we get into the room. Can I hold this so that because it only goes for a minute. Can I hold it so that I do it right before we do initiative?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay,
like
okay.
normally,
Cool.
normally you like the hold action thing is
Yeah.
I think there's a bit of contention among some DMs that you shouldn't be able to do it out of combat because like what's the point? But also, I mean, obviously you spent this time prepping this thing, so what you're essentially just, you know, the moment something happens here or the moment, you know, we begin a combat, you're casting these spells or prepping these actions. So you can prep an action basically.
Okay.
Because I know that you lose, because it's like a 6-second thing, which in the game is one thing, but when you're about to walk down an entire corridor, it's different.
Yeah, totally. Okay.
I'll do haste. I'll hold haste to cast on Myre.
Myre. Alright, okay.
Yep.
I'm already
See ya.
hasted.
And I will do
He
Beacon
isn't
of
in a
Hope.
frighteningly good mood today. I don't trust it. I don't trust it at all.
And I already have my elemental with me, so.
You do have Azza the Elemental, yeah. He's out and ready. Alright. Cool.
Okay.
You all do that slow-mo walk down the hallway like you're walking to the rocket. The squad walking down the hallway here. And heading into the next chamber. You step through the corridor, and it's a relatively short corridor as you come to the central chamber of this this monastery, this temple, which has been built to Elnaeus. Lots of moon-based things along the walls, and it's pretty dim. It's pretty dark. You do have the additional light from the fairy fire or whatever it is that you cast, dancing lights or something. See, you had that going, I believe.
Yes.
As well as Azza the Elemental creating a sort of illumination from his partly immolated body. So you're not in full darkness. The corridor lights up before you and you step into this next chamber. As you do so, though, the darkness seems to pull in around you in this chamber in a way. It isn't like... It's not like it just pulls in a huge sense of, magical darkness, but there is just a feeling. This dimly lit, silvery kind of temple about you seems to have sort of darker edges and corners in this chamber. Standing at the center of this chamber is a trio of fiends. You see the fiend that you recognize as Annowre, very tall, unnervingly still, her scaled skin gleaming faintly, kind of like sequins in some of the light, not just from you, but from a thing behind her that's sort of casting a rear light. You recognize her yellow eyes as they flick towards you, cold and predatory. You get the sense that she's just been waiting patiently rather than, she's known that you were just outside of the room. Beside her, to the left and right, stand a succubus and an incubus. Their forms unnervingly beautiful. The succubus has crimson skin, black wings folded neatly behind her, her eyes smouldering with a playful, sort of dangerous glint. The incubus, his posture casual, wearing a predatory smile, dark horns curling from his brow. His presence radiates both charm and malice. Around them, this chamber, much like the one before, is littered with piles of bones. It's the bone chamber. Mergs, you've been waiting for it, I know. Scattered haphazardly like discarded remnants of this temple's recent dark history. Behind Annowre, at the far end of this room from when you enter it, hovering around a dais sits a massive shimmering bubble. This just sort of magic bubble. Its surface kind of pulses faintly with an iridescent glow, and it casts a little sort of soft shimmering light across the stone floor. Its color shifts from cream to sort of matte black. It goes from being translucent, transparent, to fully opaque and then back again. Annowre's lips curl into a sort of small, knowing smile, and the incubus chuckles under his breath. The succubus watches you with a tilt of her head, eyes gleaming with dark amusement, as Annowre kind of looks towards you as a group, but you feel like she's predominantly kind of focused on Jildem. She says,
"Why do you wish to destroy me? Why defy me?"
You are a disease.
The disease is out there. Together we can make a stand against that giant, wretched dragon. It is just a dragon, right? How hard can it be to kill?
Why have you not done so already, then? Why wait for us?
The same reason you haven't. But with our powers combined, perhaps we can.
I glance at my companions, nervous.
I shake my head ever so slightly.
If you truly wanted to deal with us, you would have released her.
I'm afraid it doesn't work like that. You and your mortal ways, they're different to the way that we work.
Yes, from what I understand, you have much less power over this agreement than you say.
All power was given to me by Jilden. All power
Good.
given to Jilden was given by me. It's symbiotic.
So
It
what
seems
you're
that you can
saying,
take it back.
right?
But why? Why would I weaken Jilden in this, Gaia's 11th hour?
I don't want it.
But you need it.
Do I?
Yes. Just as each of you needs food, oxygen, you need my power.
I'd be quite happy to die powerless without you in my mind.
I don't believe that to be true. After everything we've shared.
Shared. You stole from me. So many years of my life. You stole the best of me.
That's what you think. You think it was stolen from you. Your wretched little life. Look at what you've achieved. Everything you did. Deep down. Yes, you thought you were in love with a beautiful young man, blah, 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 but you still did it. You still made the choice. I wasn't making you. Elneus wasn't making you. You killed every single one of them. And in turn fed me. And I thank you for it. Each meal was delicious. But I didn't make you do any of it. You are the wretched creature. You are the consequences of your actions. And your life
No.
has always been yours.
But none of that was for you. and I would stand by and I would do it all again for Annowre, the person I thought was Annowre, but not for you, you wretched creature. You're a bottom feeder. You wouldn't exist without me.
That might actually be true. Here, at the end of the world. But here we are. You made your choices, and now you must live with your actions for the final days we have. And why have it be our final days? We could
Whatever
live on.
future there is for this world, you do not deserve to share in it.
If I could be so bold as to interject, what exactly is this, or is in it for Jildan? I mean, you've already let her die once already.
I did not let
It's
her
true.
die.
Yet die she did, didn't she?
I tried to save Jildan. I tried to save all of you. I offered you my power, and you denied me, and look what happened. 3 of you practically lost your lives. Why, I don't even understand how you're still here. But I did offer you a chance to become strong enough to defeat him, and you failed. And look where you are. Scrambling for what? A spear that's not here? That was never here? There's no choice.
But that is the problem. Everything is under your terms, isn't it? You could have joined us. You could have fought alongside us. But no, because you can't, can you? Instead, the only option we have is to join you, be enthralled to you. If you wanted to survive so badly in whatever desolate world we are living in, whatever we create after this, you could have joined us. But it's only the other way around you will accept.
I
will not be controlled anymore.
cannot survive in a world where I am not accepted. I am not like you. We are different. Without you, we cannot exist. It's true. You eat food, you drink water, you suck down the air, and it keeps you alive. I need something different. I need what you've been providing me. Meals of a different kind. If I am to survive beyond this, I'm afraid it is only with the pacts, like the one you and I share. So you see, I have no choice. Just as you do not. It is not as though I am standing here holding all of the cards. I'm merely offering you half of the deck so that we might both survive this. A little bit of my power, a little bit of yours. And who knows, after all of this, perhaps we'll just all go our own separate ways. But at least we'll be alive.
You're burying the lead here, since you can only exist with someone who can accept you. If you've looked outside for maybe perhaps even a minute, you would notice that the number of candidates outside have quite diminished. Who are these two beside you? More people panhandling for souls, are they?
They are a part of me. They are, I suppose, children?
The 3 of them laugh together.
Something like that. You are correct. The candidates have diminished. Many out there who willingly sought my power, who openly took a pact, have died. And so I am hungry. We are hungry. Would you not take the chicken, pluck its feathers, roast it over a fire, so that you might survive another day? What makes you better than us? We are living creatures.
My companions are infinitely better than you. They don't attach themselves to others. They seek equal relationships. I fear you wouldn't even know what that's like.
Perhaps not. We were born a very long time ago. The structures of our bodies are different. Our minds, the way that we interact with this plane. But we are just creatures. No different from that stag in the forest. No different to a frog in a lake.
And what value do you add to this world? Only your own, your self-serving wants and needs? What do you offer anybody other
And what
than
do you
power?
offer? What have you ever offered?
Oh, Annowre, I came to terms with that long ago.
And yet,
Seems you
here
haven't
you
learned
stand.
that. Happy to die for my power to leave. For you to die in the process. Yes, I'm not desperate to cling to life for some modicum of power. In a world that does not want me or need me.
And why? Why does this world not want you or need you, if not the river of blood that you have left behind you?
If not for you whispering in my ear, all along telling me that what I was doing was fairness. For everything for him, the sacrifice, the stealing, the trinkets, everything I ever had was for him. To prove my love, to prove my loyalty, to prove I could be capable of having what he offered me. You think I would have been where I was for not your whisper, for not the words you gave to me. Perhaps I am, and perhaps I've always been, an awful, selfish, horrible person, but no doubt in my mind I would not have been pushed to the limits I have been pushed to without you.
I allowed you to become who you truly were. To
Lies!
reach the peak of your ability.
No. You offered me valleys, not peaks.
So you would kill me. Petty vengeance. If I had presented myself to you as I am now, you would not have done any of those things. You did it all for a pretty boy's face.
I did it all for love. You say. I look to my companions to see if they're dying to say anything. before I continue.
I sort of slam my staff on the ground and I say, Demon, I understand your need to survive. Unfortunately for you, you do not have the means or the knowledge to release our good friend here. And she is the key to saving the world. So I believe you must die.
And what is your plan? Are you not the greatest mage this world has to offer? And your plan falls to what? Stab this creature with the spear that made it.
Our plan is no longer any of your concern.
What if you make him twice as strong?
Well, you will be dead. I don't see how you'll care.
The four of you saunter into this place. This ancient temple to a creature that has sat slain on the mountainside for a year. Wandering through these halls, tricked by illusions, pulled left and right. You know not what you fight for, who, why. You are purposeless beings, and you are so very young. 3 of you are practically dead. And you wish to face this creature, armed with what? Hope? I am a being that has transcended time, transcended this plane. I understand you. I'm immortal.
I'll ask you again. What are you proposing?
I am proposing that you join me. You have no hope of killing that which is unkillable. You have no hope of defeating me. You have no hope of saving our world. You rush from fight to fight, like a petulant child, a bully in a playground. You will die, one way or another. I have done nothing to harm any of you, except a slight trick. When Jildan was in her lowest time of need, I was there. I gave her purpose, power, structure. And now, here we are. What a conundrum placed before us. And you have, with you, one of the strongest mortal beings, thanks to me, and you are not strong enough, and your hope is to kill this ally, and then face an even stronger being without them.
You call yourself an ally, but name one time you have truly been an ally to us in this whole endeavor. What have you done, apart from laugh in the shadows?
Are you not alive, thanks to Jildan's prowess? Has Jildan not saved you time and again?
And what can you do for us now?
I can grant you the same powers as I have granted her.
I think this wretch scrambles for its life. Perhaps you don't believe that we can defeat you, but without us, you will die. Mordrill will find his way to you. Your words are coated with desperation. I find your ignorance interesting.
My ignorance. I am here, not out of desperation, but because I have no choice, just as you are here, because you have no choice. It is us against him, or we lose. This is the only path. We do not have to like each other, but we can save our world, for better or worse. At least, after this creature is vanquished, we will have a choice.
Do you have the power to release Gildan?
You seem to believe that I have Gildan enthralled, like some sort of puppet master. That is not the case.
I think I've seen enough of your relationship with Gildan to know that the key to this tryst is written on her face. I looked at her cheeks, and then down her lip. You wish to live, yes?
Yes,
More than anything.
of course.
What if I was to take you on instead?
Instead.
Instead.
She won't let that happen, Seer.
Why must it be you?
Because perhaps there is truth in what she says, and she is not. Perhaps she's just so entangled within me, there is no way to separate it anymore.
So she is you.
I certainly hope not. But I would not trust her word.
Well,
Each of you.
Unfortunately, I trust yours. So, I rescind my offer for now.
She is right in what she says. She offered me power. Beyond what I thought I could ever be capable of. Beyond anything that ever ran in the blood of my family, anybody I ever knew. I entered an agreement with Annowre under false pretense. I do not wish this upon anybody.
Believe
But I do
you
not
me.
blame you if you choose that power.
Very well. Just so you know, there are no pretenses with my offer, false or not.
You seem to believe that this is an offer which one of you would take, but it must be all of you.
Back to the Q word again, huh?
Why only enhance you when I can enhance all four of you? You each represent the strongest mortals. Something binds you that makes you stronger. You have within you a natural, ancient, latent power. It has slowly been building, but we don't have time for a slow build. You must become stronger now, today. I can unlock it.
And I am more than happy to be unlocked. However, as they say, gimme gimme never gets. And, well, if I'm not enough, then I suppose the deal is off.
There is no trickery involved here. Not anymore.
I don't sense any trickery from you. However, there is still zero trust. You can't possibly think that anyone here cares a fig whether or not you die. As you said, you are a parasite.
Let's say, for a moment, we did say yes. And with your power, we were able to defeat Mordriel and save this world. What happens between us and you then?
You seem to think that I would enthrall you, that I could control you. If I could control you, would I not have turned Jildan away from this path?
Why
if I
would
could
you have?
control Jildan, would I not have had her convince you that you should all love me, just as she does?
I don't love you.
That may be true, but what is love, if nothing more than a sweet poison, whispered promises that bind you in chains?
Your influence is far more insidious than something so overt. Your whispers in the ears, your attempts to sway opinion, decisions. All of you, listen to me. That is how she operates, and that is how she will continue to. Even if you think she's gone.
I think the question becomes, is a world that you're still in worth saving?
If you are so convinced that you can kill me here and now, then why not delay it? Take my power, defeat our enemy, and come back. I'll be waiting.
This deal might be agreeable if you can find a way to release Jildan. That is her wish.
Release Jildan. We come back to this again.
She crosses her arms, leaning kind of back. Her wings stretch out behind her and create a sort of stand as she leans back comfortably. Her legs kind of cross over one another, and she looks upwards, pauses for a moment, and says,
Divine release, Jildan. Jildan is free.
Then teach her how to get you out of her mind. That is what she wishes.
You think me a parasite, as you say.
You claim to be.
This pact, this symbiosis, once struck, it is like trying to remove the mother's blood from a child which has already been born.
So it is impossible.
Nothing is impossible. But it would do untold harm, Jildan.
What you're saying is my companions would never be free of you either.
You have been free of me for some time.
Not true. It is not true. Otherwise you would not be here. You follow me.
I returned to you.
And you have the power to continue returning to me over and over. I do not have the control of that. You are there, an echo in my mind. And the scariest part is I don't even know where, or when, or how, or anything. Perhaps I can call you forth. Perhaps I can beg for your assistance now. I am understanding of you and who you are, but I could never make you leave. You're embedded. It does not matter if you take no action. It does not matter if you leave me to my own thoughts, my own actions. Because it's about the question. Am I really choosing to do this, or are you whispering in my ear, never knowing the answer is what kills me? It strikes me that it does not benefit you to tell the truth about this. Because why would it? The truth is ugly.
Were I to depart from your mind, would not the memory of me linger? Were I to cut your hand, would there not be a scar, and every time you saw it, you would think of me? This is the echo in your mind. I left you. I discarded you. And in all that time, you made your own choices.
The moment I met you was a death sentence. I just did not know it. Thank you for confirming, though, that the only freedom I will ever find is oblivion. Even if you die on this day, I will always be wondering. And so will you. Do not believe her lies. We don't need her power. Let her starve.
Hear, hear.
While this is happening, I wonder if I could discreetly check the weave to see if, well, where she actually is, if that is an illusion of her or not.
Yeah, give me an Arcana check. You want to do it discreetly?
I'm going to try to do it discreetly, yes.
Alright, we'll -2 off of whatever you roll.
Okay, here we go. A 29, so that's a 27.
27.
It's pretty low, man.
It's pretty low for you, yeah. Roll me an investigation check as well.
A 12.
So she is there. That does appear to be her, but her energy is kind of like split. She isn't like fully just flesh and blood, because she is a sort of fey creature, fiend, demonic, devilish presence, in as much as she is this sort of form. So the flesh and blood of her that is here is her. The two, the succubus and the incubus, is also her. They're also flesh and blood. The bubble that is around the dais is her, and whatever the fuck is in Jilden's brain is her as well. She is all of these things at the same time. But she isn't an illusion. She does have some illusory bullshit going on. Her body is slightly displaced at all times, a bit like she's under the effect of the blur spell, or a displacer beast or whatever. Like, she's actually quite hard to pinpoint specifically where she is, but there is an illusion that makes her seem like she's standing still. So for all of you looking at her, she has appeared completely stable, but you see now that she is sort of constantly just sort of ever so slightly in shift. But yes, she is, here. While these parts of her that she's manifested, they're not illusory. They do appear to be real. They also are her. She is what she manifests as much as she is herself.
I turn to the group and I say, I believe this is Jilden's decision, and we are here to support her, yes.
Say the word, I say, looking to the turtle.
I agree.
And I look to Jilden.
Let her starve.
You wish to leave?
Kill
Or
her.
Well, you don't have to tell me twice, I say, before I run towards the succubus, and I try and cast fairy fire on her and the other two if they're close enough.
Okay. You're activating the go combat moment where you're all doing your stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have our superhero turnaround.
yeah.
Everyone knows what.
Yeah, I think we suddenly see the few of you suddenly move into action. Annowre's wings kind of suddenly shift. That effect of her like blurring in place happens as well. She suddenly stops being this thing that you can see very clearly. She is, for this entire combat, under the effect of a blur spell naturally. That is one thing about her. The succubus that you dash towards reacts as well. You see they almost, there's like an excitement, a flush to their neck as you rush towards them, and they're activated. The incubus smiles a little bit as we see each of you gather your strength. Looking to Jilden as you each start moving, Annowre says,
So it's to be a heartbreak. Well, the strongest hearts break the hardest, and I do so love the sound of shattering.
and I'm going to need initiative from you all, please, as I bring you over to this combat map. Now you're all still sort of standing outside this temple, so I'm going to bring you in. The bubble behind her has its own initiative turn here. That is also going to be doing some stuff. But click on your tokens and roll me some initiatives.
Couldn't find my bloody token. So I found it now.
Yep, sorry, you're all here.
Yeah. It's so dark.
The barbel also will be lighting up, so that should provide you a bit of light.
I'm changing that down to a 10 because I rolled earlier.
Jilden, do you see light coming off of that? No. Call didn't save, great. Oh, Leah's tech issues
What did I do?
affecting my tokens now.
No.
Do you see light coming from there? Yes, okay. Great.
I need the Azers. I need the Azers. Azer the Azers. Initiative.
You have access to his sheet, no?
Yeah, I've rolled initiative, but it's not showing up on the turn
Oh,
order.
right, I see, okay.
I think that was
What
my
did he
fault.
get?
15.
15.
Sorry, words have left the building. I'm now too horny. Old horny woman Jilda is like, God damn it. My weakness. She brought first of them this time.
15 for him. And then, so who we got going first? 21. So I guess the bubble will go on a 22.
Don't like that.
It just goes at the top of the round. It's kind of like a lair rule. Okay, so initiative is Bubble, Thrak, Aza, the Elemental, Incubus, Cirrus, Seer, Jilden, Annowre, and then the Succubus. At the beginning of this combat, you all do crazy things. So, what is that again? So someone's getting hasted. I'm gonna do this before Seer runs, because then he gets the benefits of the haste, because he was Leroy Jenkinsing first. But you did say
I cast haste on him.
Okay, so Seer, you are hasted.
Okay.
And then there was another spell that was meant to go off.
Emboldening Bond from Cirrus.
Emboldening Bond, which...
Yes, that's right. Let me just share it again. It means everyone can add a d4, can roll and add a d4 to attack, roll, ability check, or saving throw. Once per turn. For the
Does
next...
this include the Azer?
Ooh, no, it's just the four of us.
Cool.
And it lasts for 10 minutes. And then I also cast Beacon of Hope, which means that we all get advantage on wisdom saving throws and death saving throws, and every time I heal us, you gain the maximum number.
So with Beacon of Hope,
Yes.
they have to be within 30 feet of you, right? Or within 30 feet of the beacon?
I think it's... Yeah, I think it's within 30 feet
Because we've just been doing it like mad
me.
style. We're gonna...
Yeah,
we'll say... Range 30 feet. The spell bestows for the duration in each target. Any number of creatures within range.
Yeah. Emboldening Bond is also the same, where everyone has to be within 30 feet for it to be
Of another
active.
bonded creature, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be within 30 feet of
Unfortunately,
each
it
other, which is
requires
pretty
us to-
hard not for you guys. Sometimes Seer will do it, but yeah, just try and
Yeah.
keep an eye on that. Okay, I'll give you an aura of
Yeah.
30 feet then, if that is the case for this one. So you guys have got to be within 30 feet of this bullshit. There, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. I know that kind of like goes a little bit against our original planning about not staying super close together, but hopefully 30 feet is
Yeah,
a 30
I
feet
just-
radius is enough to.
There's just there's just a lot of the thing is we're getting to a high level, so there's a lot of rules around these spells, so it will take a little
Yeah.
moment here, but I just want to double check them all. Okay,
Absolutely.
so you've cast these spells. You have Beacon of Hope up. Emboldening Bond is cast. Beacon of Hope is concentration. Haste is concentration, and okay. Was that it for all of the planned moves?
Yes.
Because then we go into initiative, which is Seer rushing forward. But first, because I don't think they're surprised, Seer. So as much as you want to rush forward and just unleash a flurry of blows in the cutscene, technically you taking a step forward was you rolling initiative. You know, because you are almost the Flash, but you're not.
Almost.
You're still restrained by some of the D&D rules here, such as the turn order. The first thing that needs to happen is everyone needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, God.
18.
11.
13.
12.
The bubble pulses, and every creature in the room will take 2d8 radiant damage. Unless you make your save, which is what Cirrus does. Now, the others make this check as well.
did Cirrus-
Annowre.
Seer.
Did Cirrus make it with a
Sorry,
12
Sorry,
or
Seer.
Seer?
Sorry, Seer.
Oh, Seer.
My brain is.
Everyone could
multitasking too
rename
many
the characters something very similar,
Yeah.
so as to...
Annowre takes half damage because she makes the check, so she takes 5. The succubus takes 5, and the incubus takes the full 11 as well. Annowre then activates on a legendary action and changes the form of the bubble, manipulating the power of the bubble, corrupting the energy, and causing the next wave of damage to deal psychic damage instead of radiant. You are aware that you can use your action to use an Arcana or a Religion check to undo that. If you pass
Huh.
the DC.
Undo the bubble.
To turn it back to radiant damage.
Oh, right. Okay.
And we'll see how this combat goes next week. Nowhere near enough time to do this today. I'm not getting into it. We'll fucking end it right there. It is Thrax's turn on the turn order. You have a week to plan. I gave you all of the information about this combat. Myre's brain has begun calculating.
Come on, Myre.
At such a rapid
Every
rate.
possible outcome.
Just literally tell us what to do.
I did a Constitution saving roll, so you are still hasted. By the way, I didn't drop
Nice.
Strength. All right. Sorry for the tech issues at the beginning there. We've had a few tech issues throughout the week, which, it gave us a nice memory of the bath scene, which I'm glad for, if nothing else. I think rather than sort of like dig into this combat now, we will dig into it next week. Luckily, I thought we had to do this today, and we don't. So we got saved by an angel. An angel saved us, and because we thought that we were going to be missing a cast member next week, and we were about to do a weird one shot.
Which we will still do, and it's going to be
which we're still going
incredible.
to do. I'm still definitely going to run it, but we're not limited to have to do it next week. So we'll do this next week, and then we'll do there's going to be a little flashback, flash sideways, flashback, flash somewhere else. We're going to flash. We're all going to flash.
We're going to flash.
In 2 weeks. But next week we'll do this combat. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you players for playing. We will carry on with this next time. Please tune in to other shows that we've got here on Tablestory. We've also got lots of audio-based versions of all of these shows on Spotify and Apple, varying other places. So you can check those out. There's links all over the place. We have new shows on Fridays. We have Non-Canon, which is a weird, twisty, multiversal, stupid, fun show. And we have Deathless on Sundays now, which is... I don't know what it is. Vampires? Something to do with vampires. I don't know. PB's running it.
But what? You don't know?
I know everything.
Umpires.
Acting like his face isn't this close to the screen every Sunday.
Just sweating buckets.
It's a really meta interesting show where it starts halfway through season 4. So tune in and watch that, and then you can go back and purchase. You can purchase the VHS of. I'm assuming she's doing some weird meta shit like that, rather than, we put the audio up elsewhere for you to be able to listen to. You have to go to.
No, you can listen to it on Spotify, Apple, Audible now as well. Anywhere that you can you listen to your podcast.
There has to be a
Available
way.
at Blockbuster.
There has to be a way that she can put it out on VHS though.
If you call 555-9954.
Yes, Deathless and all of the entire thing. There's hundreds and hundreds of hours of Deathless available. Coming to you
If
soon.
you can find it.
I was about to correct you, but I think there might actually be 100 hours. No, I'm kidding. There's so much good, juicy stuff.
It's really, really good. And I do really like the idea that it's on VHS because it's set in the 90s, and that would be cool. All right. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. And what? Go on. Final word from Orcish.
Oh, I was just going to say, now she's going to spend the rest of her life trying to figure out how to put Deathless on VHS.
Yeah, she's going to be on that forever.
She's going to be shipping VHS
players. It happen in the chat.
She's going to do
and the tape.
She's going to do it. So.
Did we level up?
At the end of the next session, if you beat Annowre, yes.
If we don't beat her, we're dead.
If you don't beat her, you're dead. It's the end of the campaign.
Come watch Nocturne tomorrow at 5 p.m. in the Discord. Okay, bye. That's it.